All right. Welcome, everybody, to the History Lessons. I am the journalist Sin-seer, and today we are joined by a very special guest, Leshaun. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Sin-seer. Thank you so much for inviting me. I know it's been a long time coming. You've been trying to get to me, but I've been so busy. So I'm glad that you were persistent.
Yeah, persistence pays off, and thank you for
Yeah,
that.
it does. You caught me at the right time because things
Great,
are about to get crazy again.
great. Before we get into a little history lesson, first of all, just how are you been? You say you located in Mexico, so how's everything going for you?
I'm in, Merida, Mexico, which is on the Yucatan Peninsula. And, things are okay. It's fine. It's just hot. It's hot as, can I curse?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I got a filthy mouth. It's hot as fuck here. So yeah, I just had to turn the fan off, and I just hope that you don't pick up the AC. But it's got to be on, or this shirt, my Doin It shirt, will be soaking wet. Some people might like that though.
Yeah,
Like
kind of goes
some people
along.
might enjoy that shit.
No doubt. For those who may not know, can you take us back to where you were born and raised?
Uh, I represent Queens. She was raised out in Brooklyn. I was raised in Brooklyn.
Very dope. Take us back to teenage years for LaShawn growing up in Brooklyn.
My teenage years, I was in fashion industries, high school. And from there, I thought my background was going to be fashion design. It actually ended up being interior design. But I was in design school, and at the same time, I was, I guess, practicing to be a rapper. I was always rapping. My cousin started me out when I was really young, doing block parties and all of that stuff. So I was writing poems and just stuff that I was doing during school, and didn't know if it was going to pan out to anything. But the right person at school introduced you to someone else, who introduced you to someone else, and next thing you know, I'm in Jerry Callender's basement and we're making music.
Wow. So, can you give us a time frame of when this is?
Let's see. So my song Wild Thing came out in 88. So I want to say it started probably somewhere around like 84, 85, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you solo at that time, or were you in a group moving forward to your first recording?
Well, at first I was just, like I said, I was just turning poems into rhymes. They're raps and stuff. And I was even doing stuff like, you remember when they had Def Poetry Jam and all of that stuff? Remember when poetry was, I don't know how old you are, so I might be dating myself, but that's okay. I'm Gen X and I'm okay with that. But back in the day, you used to go into a club or something, and it would be like a poetry slam. So I did that too, and that was fun. So I would say that my journey to really being in the studio and messing around was probably around like 84, 85, like around the time when I moved to Brownsville.
Okay. At what point do you think you started really taking it serious as something you would like to pursue as a career?
When I started working with Jerry and we really started like actually recording songs, and then I could hear my voice, and I'm like writing, he's sending me home with beats. We had cassette tapes, so it was rewind, play. You had to just keep doing it that way. It wasn't like a little button and you could just scroll back or something. Yeah, it was a lot harder back then. But that's when I started taking it serious, when I could actually hear myself in a recording studio, and people coming in and saying, yo, she's dope. And there's just so many people coming in and out of Jerry's basement all the time, and getting that love from the guys, because it wasn't a whole lot of females. So getting that love, you start feeling yourself a little bit.
Right. Before actually recording, who were some of your influences around that time?
Let's see. Like me, I came out around the same time as Salt and Pepper, Light, Sweet Tea, Roxanne Shante she was before me, so I would say probably Roxanne. Yeah, Roxanne Shante.
Right. What was that creative process like between you and Jerry?
It was dope. We were like family. I wish somebody would find Jerry for me because I don't know where he is. We lost touch decades ago, but he was a great friend. Loved him. We just lost touch.
Did you guys start shopping demos early on? And what record labels were you shopping to?
He did, and then there was another guy. I can't remember his name, but let me see. There was Jerry. There was Eric Meno. There was a couple of people that had my tape, and they were shopping it. I wasn't shopping anything. The guys were doing that.
Okay. What were
Yeah,
you
I wasn't personally doing it.
What were you going by MC wise? What was your name at that time?
Almond Joy.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
what point does the group form? Is that after you record this first song?
No, no, the group started before. So we were Too Much, the number two and Much. And it was me and my DJ, who was my best friend. She's still one of my best friends, Lisa, and her name is Shortcut. And I wanted her to be part of it. I didn't want to do it by myself. It was like, hey, and back then you had like everybody had DJs, you had DJs, you had dancers, backup dancers. So that was the thing, like who would I have been without my DJ? So yeah, so I told her she should be my DJ. She knew nothing about it. Jerry started teaching her and she became really nice.
So you guys ended up over at Warlock, I believe. What was that deal?
Warlock, yeah, Warlock Records. That was like the biggest scam of my life, to be completely honest with you. Like that guy, I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head, but he was such a scam artist. And then it wasn't Warlock. It was the guy that gave distribution to Warlock. So basically, it was signed to another label, and then Warlock Records ended up doing the distribution for it.
Oh,
So that's how it got a little bit bigger, but I can't remember his name. He was such a scam artist, little pimp ass. And I was too young to know any better. But like if I was to run into him right now, I'd probably put pause on him or something.
right.
Yeah.
Was that a before just a singles deal, or was the plan to make an album around this time?
That was for the single and like the B side. And then once I signed to Tommy Boy, that's when the album came into play.
Okay. Take us back to the recording session for Wild Thing in 1988.
Oh, I I I couldn't even tell you. I don't even remember that. I remember the recording session for Doing It with LL Cool J, but I do not remember the recording session for Wild Thing because we did that where I record and then I go home and then I practice my lyrics some more. And, but at that time, it was new to me being in the studio and doing all of that stuff. Even though I had been doing this, it was just like, now we needed to get it right. Like it needed to be right. So Jerry would listen to it when I come back in and he'd go, I want you to tighten up this, or can you do that? Or something like that. So it wasn't like with LL when I went into the studio and it was the first take. And so Doing It, that is the first take that you hear on the
Right.
radio. But I wasn't that nice at that point.